Happy New Year! Welcome to 2019, a year of endless possibilities and opportunities. What a great way to wipe the slate clean, to start over, put some new plans in motions, and get some new resolutions working. And I'm going to state off the bat, diet and exercise are not a part of my New Year's resolution list this year. Why is that? Because to me, eating well and moving is just like inhaling and exhaling. We don't tell ourselves to breathe. We don't make it a resolution. Taking care of ourselves in that way should just be who we are and what we do, period. So I'm putting an end to the health and fitness list, and I'm saying to you, make that a part of who you are so you can focus on other things. So I have compiled a very great list, at least I think, of New Year's resolutions for 2019. And I truly believe that putting all of these in play will make you healthier, happier, wiser, fitter, more beautiful, more content in every single way. So let's start off with number one on my list for 2019. And that is stop procrastinating or not following through. And if you put this one into play for this year, everything you set into motion will happen. Make 2019 the year that you follow through, the year that you actually jump off the launch pad, the year that you get something done instead of the year where you continue to stop stopping. If that has been your situation in the past, what does that do? It leaves you incredibly frustrated by the end of the year because you remind yourself of the goals that you put in place in the beginning, of how excited you were, how in the game you were, and then what happened. And it is an unfortunate way to feel down on ourselves and to feel defeated. And that is not the goal here. The goal is to feel accomplished. So if you have a resolution list, pull the trigger and go. And then once you've started going, don't stop. See it through. And if you have to make your list tight and concise in order to get that done, then do that. But it would be so much better to have a few successful things in your life than a long list of mediocre things. So that's number one. Number two, learn a new skill. Maybe you've been wanting to play an instrument. Maybe it's learning how to knit. Maybe you love photography. I encourage you this year to practice learning something new. Why is this important? Because it develops us in so many ways. We are multifaceted people and beings, and we have a lot of talents that are untapped. So it's important to get creative with that. It's very, very important for your brain. For Alzheimer's prevention, to learn something new, to challenge your brain in a new way is a great way to keep it young and a great way to keep your life exciting and new. So pick up something new, something you've been wanting to do forever. Maybe it's dance lessons, I don't know, but whatever it is, go for it. Number three on my list, bring more peace into your life. I think it's safe to say that we are, for the most part, pretty strung out, especially on the heels of the holidays, where we've had to deal with a lot of family and a lot of events, and it's exhausting. So here we are, reflecting on 2019, thinking, what do I want to accomplish? I hope that you bring more peace into your existence. And a big part of that is actually your frame of mind. Sometimes it is a matter of acceptance, letting go of certain things, or not casting judgment on others, because all of that stirs up anxiety and angst, and that will not lead to a peaceful existence. If it means meditating a little bit, do whatever it is that brings some calm and solitude to your being. Number four, strengthen your personal relationships. And it doesn't have to necessarily be between you and your spouse. It could be maybe a relationship with a child that you don't feel is where it needs to be. Or maybe you have really close friends, but you don't see them all that often. And when you connect, it's so invigorating, it's fun, it brings you back to yesteryear. Tell that person, This year in 2019, I'm investing in us. I want this relationship to grow and flourish. Let's make a plan to see each other once a month and keep that date firm on the calendar. Don't let anything surpass it. Prioritize your relationships because we are designed to have them. We need them. Our connection with one another is so important. So pick the relationships that need focus, invest in it, and articulate to that person, hey, I really want this relationship to be great in 2019. Number 5, volunteer. I think that there is something so beautiful that happens inside us when we give of ourselves to others. And it could be a charity that speaks to you. It could be doing some extra work through your church. It could be maybe the first time you've ever served as a volunteer. But I guarantee you, if you find something that's near and dear to your heart, you give of yourself and you see the impact on others and that gratitude expressed, it will open the floodgates for you to want to do more. Because that power of giving and that power of having someone receive your efforts is really a beautiful thing. So if you've never volunteered before, I encourage you to do so. If you have, I encourage you to continue. Number 6, be kinder to yourself. This is so important. I think in today's day and age, we hold ourselves to certain standards or to certain images, and if we fall short, we can be very hard on ourselves. I think self-worth and self-kindness is so important. To look at yourself and to say the good things about yourself, to remind yourself your assets, your values, your contribution, to just speak kindly to ourselves, because Lord knows the world isn't always so kind to us. You may not necessarily get the fruits of that language from somebody else, so make sure you're giving it to yourself. Articulate how valuable you are, how good you are, and where your strengths are, and remind yourself of that constantly. Number 7, pick up a hobby. It's been shown that hobbies can really reduce stress levels. So if there is something that you have maybe enjoyed in the past that you've let go of, or maybe you're trying to find something new, invest in a hobby. It is something that can bring peace and dimension to your life. Again, it's another creative outlet, and it's something that has to be important enough so that you set aside time to be able to do it. As we all know, time is such a precious commodity, so it really needs to be good and it needs to speak to your soul to make it happen. But cultivating something new in your life is very exciting, and who knows where it may lead. So find a hobby and go for it in 2019. Number 8, this goes without saying, read more books. It is fuel for the brain. There is nothing like either educating yourself through literature or being taken away and transported somewhere else through fiction. Whatever your reading style is, go for it. Make sure you're spending enough time doing it. Reading is so important. It also cultivates that alone, me time, quiet time in a corner, and it's so, so good for us. So if there are things that you've been wanting to learn, go get a book. Or if you've been wanting to check out, go get a book. And even if you invest just 1 hour every day, you'll get through that book pretty quickly. But it's such a precious gift that you can give yourself to read. Number 9, spend more time in nature. We live in concrete boxes from our homes to our schools to our offices, and very rarely are we outdoors anymore. And there is something so critical in touching the ground, even just walking barefoot outside in the grass, to feel nature under your feet, or to walk in the sand along a beach, to listen to the birds sing, to listen to the wind blow through the trees is so important to connect us to nature. This is where we came from. Carve out some time for yourself to enjoy nature, to get out there, to feel the wind against your face and your hair, to soak it in, to breathe it in, to take it in. Nature is so important for our peace and our well-being, so find a ways to get out. Number 10, be more grateful. Studies have shown that gratitude can make you 25% happier. Think about that. Just by acknowledging to yourself everything that's good in your life, and even if you feel that list isn't very long, doesn't matter. I bet you can find things to be grateful for. The daily acknowledgement of what is good can make your life 25% 55% happier. That is a big number in my book. Gratitude is a huge part of my life. I start every prayer first with what I'm grateful for and what I thank God for. And I think that shift and that focus is so important because it gets you through the difficult times so much easier and with your head in the right place. And that constant reminder that yes, I may be struggling here, and yes, this may be unfair, but I have this, and this, which is so precious to me and which guides me and fuels me and enables me. So offer gratitude every day for what it is that you have. And I can guarantee you by doing that, you will have more and more to be grateful for. This leads into number 11, which is press into your faith. I truly believe that life just goes better when you're spiritually connected. And if you feel like you haven't been attending your place of worship very much lately, maybe increase your time there, or increase your time in reading faith-based books or podcasts or whatever it is to really, really plug yourself into your faith. Again, it is another critical grounding moment for us where we truly see what's important, and it helps us to deal, it helps us to prioritize, and it also helps us to feel really, really good about how we're handling our lives. Faith to me has gotten me through the good times and the bad times and everything in between, and I am grateful for it. And I know the more plugged in I am, the more that connection is, the better my life goes. Number 12, prioritize intimacy in your relationship. Maybe you feel like the luster on the paint is gone. You've got your partner and it's good, but it's not great. Let me tell you, simple physical connections like hand-holding, rubbing each other's back, or a prolonged kiss can lead to greater and deeper intimacy. And there's that saying, you gotta fake it till you make it. And so maybe you don't feel like it right off the bat, but trust me, if you start taking those little moments, you will see something very special and magical in your relationship start to happen again. Feelings will resurface, reconnection will take place. That intimacy is so important in making a relationship, an intimate relationship, last and keeping the focus right there on the two of you. Not to mention, it's pleasurable. We've denied ourselves that in the name of, I'm tired, I have a headache, I'm busy, I can't. We're denying ourselves such great pleasure and connection. So prioritize the intimacy in your relationship. Last but not least, and this may seem very far-fetched, but it's important, and I'll tell you why. Get a full blood panel done. Now, when we go to our doctor, sometimes we go just because we don't feel well, and we need to get a prescription for this or help for that. I'm encouraging you to have a wellness approach to your well-being. Go ask for a full blood panel to check everything and anything. Hormone levels, blood sugar levels, you name it. Get your men to go out there and get a PSA done in their blood work. Why? Because PSA is what measures prostate cancer. And the reason why I say this, because my super close friend, Frank Billingsley, who's the weatherman at Channel 2, I encouraged him to get a full blood panel in the name of wellness to see where his levels were, because you can better those numbers with supplementation and exercise and diet and all of that. And he found out that his PSA levels were through the roof. And it was through that blood panel that he discovered that he had prostate cancer. And from there, he researched and found the best treatment for him. But he was asymptomatic, had no clue, and had time gone on, it would have gotten worse and worse. So please, get a full blood work done. Know what's going on in here. Get your men to do it, because you got to drag them by the feet because they don't want to go. Get them to go. It is so important to understand what's going on the inside so that you can properly take care of yourself. And I am all about health and wellness, and I don't think you can do yourself any service if you don't really know what your numbers are saying about where you are. So that's it. These are my New Year's resolutions for 2019. You can run with them all. You can pick a few, whatever speaks to you. I just wanted to compile something that I felt would be advantageous for all, and things to think about, things to meditate on for 2019 as we set our course and aim to make ourselves better year after year, and I hope that some of these will get you on that path and whatever journey it is that you're on. But I am so happy that your journey has you with me here at this channel. I am so excited to see what we create together in 2019. You know that a majority of my content is based on your comments and suggestions and what it is that you need. So feed me, please feed me with your ideas and what you're looking for this year and how I can hopefully be of some help. But with New Year's resolutions in place, I wish you boldness and blessings big time for 2019. And I will see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.